On this episode of St. Louis People on the Move, I'm interviewing someone who isn't affiliated with St. Louis at all. But I thought the people of St. Louis might want to know what Wayne Robbins has been up to. I met Wayne Robbins on a family trip to Belize, and I learned a lot about investing in vacation homes, buying a second home, and retiring in paradise. If you or anyone you know is thinking about retiring abroad or investing abroad, this podcast is for you. Hey, Wayne, thanks for joining me today.
Good morning. Good morning. It's nice to be here, even though we're 1,000 miles away.
So do you want to just do like a quick intro of who you are and where you are and how you got there?
Sure. My name is Wayne Robbins. I've been in beautiful Belize for 17 years. I'm originally from New York City. I moved to Florida about 21 years ago, where I thought I found paradise. And then I just happened to stumble upon Belize in part of my real estate development career. And I've turned that now into a strictly real estate lifestyle.
So what led you to Belize?
Well, actually, my partner was at a Caribbean dinner one night, and he met this developer from Belize, and we had done projects all over the world, actually, and I had never even heard of Belize, and he came back very passionate and thrilled, and he said, I met this developer. He had this vision that seemed to be perfect with what we were doing in the real estate development world. And at that time, I'm living in Florida, and I'm not a big flyer at the time, and I didn't even know where Belize was, to be perfectly honest. And then he said Central America, and I still didn't know where that was per se. I thought that was halfway around the world. And he said, no, from Miami, it's under 2 hours, and I can't wait. My partner said, for you to see it. And I wasn't a big flyer. I said, no, you go to Belize, and I'll just raise the money from Florida. And he said, no, you really got to go down, because you got to touch the land, see it, meet the people, and that's going to drive you to raise money for this project. And that's really the long and short of it. I came on down, and the country is amazing. It's beautiful. The people are super friendly. The real estate down here is the perfect complement for Americans and Canadians and Europeans as well, versus their portfolio. And it's made my life a whole lot easier. I was selling real estate in Florida, and that was going well, but I didn't have the lifestyle that I have down here, and meeting the quality of people down here and doing good for a country that needs good.
So bringing in investment, creating jobs.
Bringing in investors, bringing in people who want to improve on their lifestyle, who want to complement, as I said, their portfolio, who want to, it's a very tax-friendly country as well. More and more states are flying directly into Belize on a yearly basis, which makes it easy to get to. We're actually in Placencia, Belize, where we're building an international airport, which will be a game changer for Placencia, which will make getting here much easier. Real estate values will explode, and people from all over will be able to understand why I've been here for 17 years once they get down here and see the beauty. A lot of people are, as I said, are being introduced to Belize, within the last few years. The popularity of Belize has increased dramatically. Ever since 2 Thanksgivings ago, after COVID, the Belize tourism has picked up dramatically. The real estate market has done very, very well. It's a country that grows annually anywhere from 5 to 7%. But really, it's the lifestyle that I want to sell. Anyone can sell on a home, a condo, or even a lot. And that's what I was doing basically in Florida. But down here, I'm selling a lifestyle, because, down here, and I know it may sound strange, I think you'll live longer down here by even just being down here, whether it's 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, a few months. For Canadians, they can come down here for at least 6 months without giving up their health insurance. You can have dual residency and citizenship down here, which is very key. But one of the biggest things of why everyone should seriously consider Belize and the Caribbean as part of their portfolio is because it's one of the only English-speaking countries down here. English is the major language. Real estate contracts are in English. Real estate laws shadow those of the United States and Canada. It's one of the few Caribbean countries, which is very important, where you get a deed, where you get a title, where you get physical ownership. Contracts are in English. That's very, very important, so you have that peace of mind that, whether you're in Atlanta, New York, Philadelphia, LA, it's like buying real estate in Atlanta, Philadelphia, New York, and LA. So, I know a lot of people are not nervous, but they're unaware of the true benefits of investing internationally. And I've covered that for the last 17 years. I want my clients, when they come down here and they do decide to buy something, I want them 150% comfortable, and I try to make that. I know the do's and the don'ts. I know if they're building a home, who are the good builders, who are the good contractors. So I'm using my experience for the benefit of all my clients.
So it's a similar process. So you get title, you get the deed, you can get title insurance. What about financing? How are people financing these purchases?
Financing is an interesting question down here, and what I don't like, most of my buyers are cash buyers, but what I mean by that is they're not using Belize banks. Belize banks down here are very, very conservative, which means they're going to be charging some very high interest rates. Most of my clients who are buyers, where they'll take out a line of credit on their home, whether it's be in the States, Canada, or Europe, they'll take out a prime loan and then use that money to buy, whether it's a second home, third home, a rental vacation property, a lot where they're going to build a home down the road. The beauty of Belize is, from my clientele, is they're anywhere from 10 to 15 years away from retiring. So they want a vacation property. They want something where they can generate income to complement whatever portfolio they have, whether it be in the United States or Canada. And Belize is the perfect market. It's one of the most popular places for weddings, honeymooners, top 3 in the world in scuba diving, snorkeling, boating, fishing. They have the eco side of the Mayan ruins, the cave tubing, the zip lining. So there's so much to do. And yet, if you don't want to do anything, you pull up at the swim bar and you have a cocktail. So there's a lot of opportunity down here and a lot of adventure to partake as an individual when you do come down here.
So just one possible scenario. Someone here, like there are a lot of people in my community who have lived here for 20, 30 years. They have a lot of equity, if not 100% equity in their primary residence. So Correct. They will take a line of credit and then use that line of credit to purchase something in Belize, and then use that property as a vacation home for themselves part of the year, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, maybe 6 months. And then the other time that they're not using it for themselves, they're doing Airbnb.
Well, it depends. On the homes, they're definitely doing Airbnb, VRBO, of Acosta. On the condos, they're going to be generally part of a property management group, where the property management group will do it all for themselves. It's that KISS method, keep it simple, stupid, where they're buying the condo and then they decide how many months they want to put it into the property management home. But on the home side, the Airbnb is very, very big down here. They're getting United States prices. The 3-bedroom, 3-bath, the 4-bedroom, 4-bath with a small pool is an ideal home for Airbnb. Have several families that own them and are renting very, very well, depending on what they want to do, especially the last year and a half. They're about 65% occupancy, which is very, very strong down here. And then, just like you said earlier, that's the perfect scenario. You buy a home, condo, you have the right to use it. That's dollars you're actually taking in because you're not paying for it. You have the appreciation of the home or condo, and then you have the rental income. So your money is always working for you in 3 ways, and that's the ideal vacation home, second home. And you're also playing that plan B, that what if game. Not everything, the United States is in an interesting predicament right now. And it's always good to have that safety valve? And why not have that safety valve in a beautiful English-speaking country that's only a couple of hours away from Dallas and Houston? It's 2 hours away from Miami. It's less than 2 hours. As I said earlier, more and more states are now flying direct, which makes life easier.
So buying the second home, three avenues. One is savings, because if you buy the home, then you get to use it for your vacation. So you're not paying money to go somewhere for vacation.
Correct.
You get appreciation, because if you buy now and say someone builds an airport in Placencia, the real estate around it should appreciate, and then you get income, right?
When that airport opens up and people own real estate down here and they bought it through me, with your assistance, they're going to be our new best friends. But even without the airport, this country appreciates 5 to 7% on a yearly basis. Most of my properties that I sell are waterfront, and as people know, waterfront properties, whether it's lagoon front or ocean front, never goes down. And I hate to use that word never, but it never goes down. I've been in the business 20 years, and I've never seen oceanfront, waterfront property go down. Belize is mainly waterfront and oceanfront properties.
So, for people who don't want to take the leap and buy an entire house, be the sole owner, have to manage the Airbnb, you have other projects that I was hoping you could explain. You call them fractional ownership. And one was
I call them unique fractional ownerships because they're very high end. Let's take the first one, which is the LIVE program, which is an acronym for Lifestyle Investment via Equity. What the developer has done here is he's put together three bedrooms, beautiful high-end, all oceanfront, and a 14,000 square foot penthouse. And each owner will have the right to 4 weeks, 3 weeks in a 3-bedroom that they can use or rent out, and 1 week in the penthouse. Most of my clients who have this program just started actually, and the traction on it has been very good because it's a low entrance price point. It's $159,000. They do everything. You know, you can use the 4 weeks, and most of my clients will not. Most of my clients will use 2 of the 4 weeks, or even 1 of the 4 weeks, and then they'll put the other 2 or 3 into the property management pool, which is going to be run by a very high-end property management company. So this way, you really get. You know, we go back to that KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. You know, you're on the ocean. The penthouse is drop dead gorgeous. So people who want information, you know, I'll be more than happy to send them a link that will show them, you know, exactly what they're getting. But they're also getting that peace of mind. This is about when you put the three bedrooms together in the penthouse, you got about $8 million worth of real estate. Instead of, you know, the comfort factor for them is each one of the shareholders in this project are first on the mortgage. So that means they control the $8 million worth of real estate should anything happen. Here's even a better factor, you know, and I try to make it with a peace of mind. The developer if you're unhappy within 2 years and you don't like this for whatever reason, and I can't see a reason you won't like it, he'll buy it back from you at $199,000. So doing nothing in 2 years and getting involved in Belize, you'll make $40,000. I mean, you know, plus you'll still be able to use it during those 2 years. So that's a very good entrance price point. Now, a problem with fractionals is that, yes, you know, you can only get 4 weeks or 13 weeks or whatever, and then you always have to keep moving stuff. You know, you can't keep your stuff around. So the same developer created 5213 villas, which is along the same line as what I said, but it's actually a villa. But you actually own, you have four quads that an individual can each own, and they're about 800 square feet. And then you own that for 52 weeks out of the year. And then you have an 1,800 square foot piece that you can also use for 13 weeks out of the year. So you never have to move your clothes because you have your own room, or you can put that studio into the rental property management pool as well. And then when you have your family come down, you have access to an additional 1,800 front. It's right on the lagoon, very high end. This is high end stuff. This is beautiful stuff, completely furnished, completely run by a management company. They will manage it for you if you want to manage it, you know, during the 5213 weeks. What I had one group do is four friends actually bought one of the units, so they each owned the four quads, and then they also own the 13 weeks. So for the whole year, they don't even lock those quads, which is the entrance into the 1,800 square foot additional piece. So there's no capital gains tax down here, which is very huge. There's no restrictions on foreigners buying land, homes, or condos. Um, it's very United States friendly. It's very Canadian friendly. We have a lot of Canadians down here, as you can imagine. In Canada, you have cold weather, high taxes. We have great weather, no taxes. In the United States, we're complementing one's portfolio very admirably. We're in the Caribbean. The weather is very Florida-like. But if I, outside of the English speaking, I just want to go back to the people down here. The people are just genuine. You saw it firsthand, that the people are super nice. Yes, we are a poor country, but we're Costa Rica, 12, 13 years ago, but we're Costa Rica on steroids because the English speaking, the British Commonwealth law, the ease of buying real estate for Americans down here.
I have a follow up to the fractional ownership. It's
okay.
Because it's such a new concept for me. Can you distinguish it from like timeshare? Like what's the difference?
It's a major difference. I have friends that do timeshares, and honestly, I don't get it. I would, and I'm not bad mouthing timeshares. I'm just saying there's a lot of what ifs in timeshare. In fractional ownerships, you own something. You own what, let's say there's 10 people involved in the fraction. You own 1/10 of that property. Here in the live program, there's 50 investors per the three weeks and the 1 week. So you own 1/50th of the three bedrooms and the one penthouse. So you own 1/50th of the $8 million. That's your insurance policy. So there's a big difference. In timeshares, you don't own anything, and there's sometimes some additional charges. Here, it's black and white. You own it. You got the peace of mind guarantee from the developer that he's willing to buy it back from you in a couple of years if you're unhappy. But you're not going to be unhappy, because what you're going to do, Dawn, is you're going to say, hey, and I'm not saying everyone, but say, I want to be in Belize more. So now I want to go from this fractional to perhaps a home or a condo. So this developer is all encompassing. He's got multiple projects. He's got homes and condos and lots. So we'll be able to roll each and every one of my clients out of, let's say, the live program, or perhaps even the 5213 program, into the home, into a condo, into a lot to build a home at current market value. So you don't even have to worry about selling that fractional. We'll do it for you, and you'll be able to use that money that you've been generating, not only on the rental income, but on the appreciation as well, into your next adventure.
So when they do, like, okay, so let's just say I did it. Let's say that I invested in the 5213, and then in 4 years I wanted to sell it. Am I selling it? Am I required to sell it back to the developer, or is there a secondary market? Do you list it just like a regular?
You would want to sell it back to the developer, because there'll be no lag time. He'll buy it right back to you on the next person buying it. But no, there's always a secondary market. That's why I'm saying, let's take the 5213. So the 335,000 is the introduction price. Yes, the price is going to go up to 399. In 4 years, that price could easily be 500,000. So once the developer will either offer you the current market value, or you have the right to put it out on the market, being in the real estate business, or not even being in the real estate business, and seeing what attracts. I could call you up and say, hey, I have a buyer for it, and he's willing to pay 525, 550, or whatever. So no, you're not obligated at all. The developer here is just to give you that peace of mind, knowing that there is an exit strategy if you're ready to roll into something else.
Got it. So, and there's no first right of refusal. It's not like the developer gets the first. Okay. So you can put it on the open market. You can sell it to whoever you want.
You can sell it to whoever you want.
Okay.
And by then, the airport will in my opinion, be open and ready, and the market will be very, very, very strong. Each year, the market improves. As I said, just take JetBlue coming into the market in December out of New York. I've been waiting for this for a long time, being a New Yorker and having a lot of New York friends that don't like to take multiple flights. JetBlue will be flying December 6th, 3 times a week into Belize. That's huge. It only opens up the door for New Yorkers and New Jersey people, even though there is a direct flight out of Newark as well. But I think Europe will gain entrance by flying into New York and then flying from New York to Belize. So I think that will improve the European market as well.
And I think when I was down there, I remember I didn't know what the Placencia was. So we just stumbled upon it. We bought
Luckily,
we had no idea. We won it at an auction and so we had no idea where we were going. We hadn't done any research. When we landed there, I could just tell this is really different. This wasn't like a traditional resort. And I could see the dynamics of people who had known each other for a very long time. And I didn't understand that that the community we were staying in were people's homes and people lived there.
correct. You were staying in people's condos that are all individually owned. And the beautiful part about the Placencia is that there's condos on the ocean side, homes on the lagoon front side. But whether you're on the home side or whether you're on the condo side, you have full use of the resort amenities. So what you're doing down here is, you're right, it is something different. You're buying real estate with full resort amenities, which is really what you want. You don't have to think. If you want to go on excursions, they'll arrange it for you. You want, it's a good way to own real estate, and then without having to worry 100%. Also, we're in a gated community. Not that there's crime down here, but there's that peace of mind when you're buying something down here. You want to be in a gated community, just knowing that your property, home, condo, a lot is being looked after. That's being, you guys are 1,000 miles away or whatever the distance is away. It's good to know. Me being down here on a full-time basis is a plus, because I look over all my clients' property. So that's an additional bonus. And then what one's going to find is that when they do buy down here, and they may say, "Hey, I'm only going to be down here 2, 3, 4 weeks," that expands over time, because your family is going to want to come down, the kids are going to want to come down, your aunts and uncles are going to want to come down, even when you're not here, because Belize is really getting on the radar of the world right now.
All right, I have 2 questions for you. I'm going to ask the silly one first.
No such thing.
I want to know how you stay so fit and thin living in a resort community, because the food was great. The swim up bar was amazing. You were out there chatting it up and living it up every day, but you're so fit and healthy and thin. So tell me how you're doing that.
It might be in the genes, and I credit both my parents for it, but I actually, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning without an alarm clock. I'm generally in the gym at 6. I do a lot of walking, which is part of the realtor's life. You do a lot of walking because you're showing property around all the time. But I'm breathing in great air, and I'm boating, and the stress level down here is greatly reduced. I mean, I'm working every day. Don't get me wrong, but it's a completely different environment where I'm working. It's just, I'm very passionate about Belize. I want to introduce the world to Belize. I think everyone should consider Belize. Come on down just on a vacation, and you'll want to look at real estate down here, because it's a very opportunistic country. You came down and you saw a completely different vision of why you were originally coming down in the Placencia. And I think a lot of people will do that once they step and see the beauty of Belize. You see, my office is right on the water, it's right from the pool. That's my office. That's where I want to be. So I'm not in the sun. And as you see, I don't have a dark tan, but I'm very healthy from that physical perspective. Thank you for noticing that.
Yeah, well, I noticed, because when I came home, I gained 5 pounds, and I'm like, how do you live here 95% of the year? and and not.
I will say something. I haven't lost weight in the 17 years I've been here, but I try to maintain it. And it's not easy because, as you know, the food down here is very, very, very good. All different kinds, all ethnic related. You can have Belizean food, Italian food, Chinese food, Indian food, just all sorts of different foods. They have cultural nights. They have Taco Tuesdays. It keeps you busy. It keeps you busy from a food perspective, and it keeps you busy as one wants to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, there was so much to do. So we went on an excursion one day, which was arranged by the Placencia, and we went out to the island of Ranguana.
Guana, beautiful island, yes.
Yeah, it was amazing. So that afternoon, I told Jay, I was like, let's quit our jobs, let's live on this island, and we'll just start a YouTube show to fund our existence. And
That
he
is,
shut that
that
down pretty quick.
that is a great idea, and you could do that, and you don't have to, you don't have to quit your job. You just have to come on down here more often.
So I think I remember you saying you help people buy condos, single family homes, fractional ownership, and islands. Have you helped someone buy an island?
I haven't closed the deal on an island, but I've got three or four of them available. Um, Bill Gates owns islands down here. Leonardo DiCaprio owns islands down here. Francis Ford Coppola has islands down here. Reggie Bullock, a Dallas Maverick basketball star, just recently bought an island down here in Placencia, actually, about 15 minutes from here. And he's down here all the time. We get a lot of athletes, we get a lot of movie stars. Francis Ford Coppola has truly aided in making Belize more and more popular. He's got two resorts here, one in Placencia and one in San Ignacio. He's also got one in Guatemala, so he's truly covering the Caribbean. There's no paparazzi down here, so that's why movie stars and athletes like it. People leave them alone, and the athletes love it down here because of the same reasons. You have rock stars down here. You have Dee Snider down here. And you've got us normal people as well. That's the beauty. You got East Coast, West Coast, Midwest people, a lot of Texans because there are two flights daily out of Houston and Dallas, which makes it very easy. But there's a lot of flights out of Atlanta, New York, Newark, Miami, Chicago, Minnesota, Denver, just to name a few.
Well, that is so much. We'll put a bunch of information in the show notes. I'm going to go ahead and write a blog to accompany the podcast just because there's so much, and I'll make sure to put all your information in there so people can reach out and contact you if they want to investigate a second home market or an investment or a possible retirement scenario. Okay, last question, because I am so intrigued by the fractional ownership.
Okay.
What's the timing on those?
Timing is right now.
Hmm. Well, like so you are gathering capital, finding investors,
The the
and
the live program is in effect right now. The 5213 we're taking reservations on. We have two models that are about 80% complete. They're completely sold out. So we know the model works.
mhm,
So anything new would be the start of something new in the 5213, which would be across the lagoon from where you stayed,
mhm.
which is where they're putting a 1,400 acre project of 5213s, homes, condos, lots, stores, and et cetera, et cetera, and even a small golf course as well.
Oh, wow. So if someone invested this week, when would they get to put their things in the studio?
In the 5213,
Mhm.
that would probably be 9 to 12 months.
Oh, wow, that's fast.
But the live program is up and running, and if someone invested in it, let's say tomorrow or within the next month or two, they could start using that immediately.
Oh, it's ready. It's out of the ground.
It's that beige building that was behind where you were staying, where the casino is.
I didn't go to the casino.
Okay, well the casino's closed, but
Oh.
anyway, it's I used to run that, but But that's up and running. Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
The 5213 is in reservation mode format. I'll send you the links to both of them. I don't know if I did already, but I'll send you the links to both of them.
Okay, great.
This way you can catch up on more of it. And it's, once you read it and you see it in print, it's much more easily and the pictures and the video, it's much more easily to comprehend from that perspective.
Yeah, that would be great. I'll put that all in the show notes and in the blog.
Perfect. If you need anything else, let me know. Otherwise, I want you to have a great day.
Thank you.
I thank you for this interview.
Yeah, this was fun. We will definitely do this again. I want to see you touring. I want to see you in the places.
I'll take some video of that and send it to you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Dawn, have a great one. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.